I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. Rudy Giuliani was held in contempt of court on Friday in connection with settlement proceedings with his ex-wife, Judith Giuliani. Judith had sued Rudolph Giuliani back in August, saying that under their settlement agreement together after they got divorced, Rudy Giuliani owed her approximately $250,000 to $270,000. Since the lawsuit in August, Rudy Giuliani had paid her an additional $45,000, but owed her the rest of money. So there was a big court hearing on Friday before a Manhattan Justice or Judge Katz, and Rudy Giuliani did not even show up to court. Because he didn't show up to court, he was found in contempt of court. He was found responsible for a default judgment in the amount of approximately $225,000 plus another $10,000 in attorney's fees. And the Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Michael Katz, who is overseeing the case, stated that, quote, "If the amount is not paid promptly, I'm going to be forced, unfortunately, because it's not something I want to do, I'm going to be forced to remand the defendant into custody," is what he said. So in other words, remand him into custody, put him in jail. The only thing I disagree with Manhattan Justice Michael Katz there is the unfortunately part. I think very, very, very fortunately, Rudy Giuliani will likely be going to jail and will be going to jail if he doesn't pay his ex-wife, Judith Giuliani, the amount of money that she's owed, which is now approximately $225,000 plus about $10,000 in attorney's fees. Now, one of the things I want to point out here, though, as well, is that Rudy Giuliani didn't even show to court, so he was found in contempt. I want you to think about that. Rudy Giuliani, who used to be the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, is so careless, is so irresponsible that he didn't show up to court, giving the judge basically the proverbial legal middle finger and saying, I don't even care enough to be here today before these proceedings, forcing Judge Katz's hands to say, well, then you are in contempt and I am going to put you in jail now if you don't pay the money that you owe your ex-wife, Judith Giuliani. Now, the legal woes for Rudy Giuliani keep mounting. Of course, he's now lost his legal license. He cannot practice law again. He's being sued by everyone. Where do you even start? He's basically being sued by everyone for defaming him, whether it was Dominion, whether it was numerous other people who he plotted against to defame, to spread his big election lies. And Rudy Giuliani has continued to lose at each and every one of these court hearings that he's had. And Rudy Giuliani deserves it. I mean, Rudy Giuliani was, with freaking fascists like Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, and Jenna Ellis, who Rudy Giuliani sweated and farted on during fake hearings.
The answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth.
Rudy Giuliani was the right-hand co-conspirator with all of the big lie plots. I mean, we have Rudy Giuliani calling senators and members of Congress and state senators, telling them all to engage in illegal and unlawful conduct. You have Rudy Giuliani pushing the fake electoral slates. Rudy Giuliani, trying to gather all of the objections that were being made to the counting of the legitimate and valid electors. Rudy Giuliani's disgusting hands were on each and every aspect of the insurrection. And frankly, for someone like Rudy Giuliani to fall from grace like he did, being, New York's mayor and a distinguished, United States attorney, to where he is now, just goes to show you what a, problematic individual he is. Goes to show you that everything that surrounds Trump inevitably ends this way. And it is a tale that the writing was on the wall based on everyone Trump interacted with before he went down the escalators and started running a campaign filled with hate and xenophobia and trying to undermine the values of our democracy. Everything that he did failed. Everyone he interacted with, was harmed. Yet you had people like Rudy Giuliani latch on to him. And so when you look at the current group of lawyers, whether it's Alina Habba, Christina Bobb, right? Christina Bobb right now, Trump's lawyer, is going on. She's now moonlighting or pretending to be a journalist at one of these radical right extremist networks, or what she's now saying is that she was never actually Trump's lawyer, despite you see her on all of these interviews saying that she was Trump's lawyer. And she showed up in a court hearing for Trump's lawyer and say, I was never Trump's lawyer. I was just his custodian of records. But everyone who represents Trump, this is what happens. That's why we say MAGA stands for making attorneys get attorneys. And there's really the explanation why Christopher Kise, the new Trump lawyer, who is a foreign agent for Venezuela. He works for the Maduro regime. We have his foreign application to be a registered agent for the Maduro regime of Venezuela, where we see he's working for Maduro's attorney general. This is the individual who was trying to get our top secret, highly classified documents before the 11th Circuit stepped in and foiled Judge Eileen Cannon and Trump's plan to try to get these documents turned over to people like Christopher Kise, foreign agents, literally foreign agents for authoritarian, repressive regimes. But Christopher Kise took that $3 million. He probably realized this may be the last client I ever have. And so Christopher Kise took that money from the Save America organization, the same organization that is being criminally investigated by the Department of Justice for engaging in all the election disinformation, undermining our democracy, and grifting off of its donors. But that's who paid Christopher Kise the $3 million. But Rudy Giuliani is a cautionary tale of what happens to Trump's lawyers and what happens to people who surround themselves, who surround themselves with Trump. Rudy Giuliani, found in contempt by a Manhattan judge, ordered to pay immediately or he will go to jail. Good riddance. Hit the subscribe button right now to subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. We're on our way to 1 million subs. Help us get there. And also, if you want to support independent journalism like this, if you want to be a part of the growth of independent media, we take no outside investors whatsoever. We're purely powered by democracy and fueled by you. Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. That's Patreon, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. There are different membership tiers. Join the membership tier that fits you the best, but there are different exclusive benefits at each tier. That's patreon.com/MeidasTouch. I'm Ben Meiselas. Until next time.
This November is Rowvember. MeidasTouch just released its brand new collection of Rowvember t-shirts and pins to let the country know what's at stake this upcoming midterm election. Go to store.MeidasTouch.com to grab yours. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.